Good day and welcome back to Creative Hands platform. All lovers of Creative Hands platform, thank you. All those that stop by to watch our videos, thank you very much. Today I am going to make a turban, but I'm using satin material. So the first thing I am doing is the measurement I'm using to create the bow, because there's going to be a bow tie on it, that bow. So that's the measurement, 6.5 by 32, but I know it was supposed to be 30, maybe 6.5 by 32 or say 30, but I have it in different sizes, so I'll be showing you the different sizes when the time comes. But the measurement I used for the folding is 6.5, that is for the wideness, and then 32 for the long one. So all I need to do is flip it over, and then I will add my crinoline to it. So most times when I make bow, I either use crinoline, I use facing, interfacing on it, crinoline, or sometimes if need be I use marco. So different things for different occasion, but for the same purpose. So for this particular tutorials, I will be using the crinoline, and the crinoline I'm using is the one of 3 inches. You know, we have the one of 6 inches, we have the pleated crinoline and all of that. So for the band, I prepared the same width, that is 6.5, and then the length that I used is a length that will be comfortable for me to cross. So if you are using your own length, depend on what is comfortable for you to cross. For me, you can see how long my own is there, so I'm working with almost 24, and then that is very long. You get me? You can see the excess I'm having there. I'm comfortable using these excess materials to do my crossing, because sometimes when I try to manage the materials, I find out I might just be ending up with a base that is maybe too tight, not long enough, and all of that. So that's just it. I like long one, so sometimes I do 20, sometimes I even do 24. But now the right size to use is 18. If you are going to cross, 18. Sometimes you can use 16 if you know that you can be perfect in doing it. That's the normal size, that's the right size if you are going to cross. All right, so you can see it. I'm ensuring that the very first one that I place down is going to connect with the two on top of it. So after this, I'm just going to be fixing the cover. Now for this cover, I have 24, I think 24 by 22, I think so, or 23. Okay, 24 by 21. Okay, all right. Now if you look at the edges carefully, you see that I have hemmed the edges. I hem it, I turn it, you understand, I fold it, you can see it. Yes, this is because, and again, you must make sure that this your covering now is, as in, that is, it's on size, that is the real size you want to use, because you cannot afford to trim it. If you trim it, it will be rough, and that is, you know how satin is, it has a way of pulling thread and all of that. So if you do not fold it to secure the edges and all of that, you cannot really have a good delivery. So for me, I have my foldings before placing it on the band to sew. You understand? I have my foldings. So I always say, make sure that your folding is up to size. Don't make it above size, don't make it below size. You don't need to trim or add to it. All right, so I will just like find the middle. The middle is what I'm looking for there. I'll take the midpoint now and place it exactly on the point where the V is showing. exactly on the point where the V is showing. Then I'll quickly pin it through, ensure that yes, it is where I want it to be, before I'll take it to my machine and then join it. Yes, so it's something I just like doing carefully. That's the excess part that will come out of it. On both the left and the right hand side, we have the excess part that must come out of it. Those part that is coming out, after sewing it with my machine, I'll simply use my scissors to cut it off, and then I will weave it. I don't like leaving satin. It's either I will hem that part or I will weave it. Do you understand? So I prefer to weave it, will be easier. So I'm going to weave. Yes. So that's just it. I will just pin every part of it accordingly, making sure that the part I need to leave out are left out, and then I'll sew it. Yes. I just want to take my time because of those that might be beginners. You can see I'm ensuring that the very first one is connecting with these two. Do you understand? So that you don't end up pinning it to the one on top, and meanwhile the bottom one is not connected. And then there's something I still do. I always ensure that the bottom size, the size under it, is bigger than the remaining ones on top, especially when I know I will be doing more than 3. Maybe I want to have up to 4, 5 crossing. You understand? I will make sure that that first one is very wide, because there is always a need to connect it. It will not be the same size with everyone. You can see how it will look after I am done sewing it. You can see the fine crossing on the front. So what I need to do now is I'm just taking it to the machine, and then I'll just sew it through with my machine. And after that, I'll cut off the excess part. Then I'll show you how it will look before I close it up. So as you can see, this is the finishing. This is just the finishing of the base. Look at the crossing. You can see the V is connected, arranged on the same line. And then now that I want to fold, I will take the center of the V. That is, I must know where this V is. If not, the V will not be positioned at the middle. So you always look for that V and fold exactly from the middle of the V. All right. So for me, I want to create the opening. The only length I need behind this cover is 14, but already I know I have up to 20 something. I just need 14. I'll be giving an opening space of 8 inches, and then which means I'll start sewing from that 8 inches where my hand is now. That's where I'll put under the machine to start sewing. And remember that usually we curve the turban, so it is meant to be curved. You are not going to sew it straight, which means some part of this back is going to be cut off. Now, cutting some part of the back off is not a challenge at all. It's not going to be a challenge because it's light, and then we can weave it. Do you get me? You will not compare it to the corner where I'm going to open. The reason I had to hem the turban completely was so that that corner part that I'll be leaving open will be neat enough to be opened. Is that okay? All right, so right now I told you I'll be coming back to show you the size of the bow. So the first size I made, the second size now is 9, and then this first size I measured about 14, which means after folding the material, joining it and all that, so it reduced, and I got 28, while the other one I got 9. The original size I cut for the other one was 20. All right, so I'm supposed to get 10, but because I used some part to join, I got 9. So I'll just fold this. This is the longest one, and that's what I'm going to put under. I might put it under or put it in between, but this is how I fold it. I'll just fold and then use my needle and thread to pass through it, and then sew it together, tie it together. Then I'll keep adding the other ones to it. All right, and these remaining 3 that you see, they are all of the same size. They are all 9. You understand? They are all 9. I only decided that I needed one that will have a separate size. I just decided I want one that will be longer than the rest. Of course, if you want to know if you can make different sizes for all, of course you can make different sizes for all. It depends on you. Creativity is a thing of the mind. It is what you feel is beautiful that you want to do. You get me? So that which you think is okay for you is what you should do. For this particular one, I have just 2 sizes, and that is 9 and 14 after folding. You get me? So I will tie it together now. Remember, I started by sewing it together before you see me wrapping it now. You get me? So there is need for you to make sure that the needle passes through every one of them. The needle connects every one of the bow together before you tie it. Tying it alone, for me, I felt is not okay, because your thread can give way, though it won't give way easily, but I just like securing mine like that. All right, so I need a piece of this same black material to just cover the part where I did the work. But if I use only that material, you will not really see the beauty. So I needed to use this accessory to just give it a little bit of embellishment. This accessory is very cheap, but it comes out well when you know how to use it. So I'm just going to add it to belt it up. You can see how cool and beautiful it is. So by the time I attach it, you can see the difference in when I attached just the material and when I added this accessory to it before attaching it. So there is always a difference. I always want to encourage all lovers of creative hands to have this sense of creativity, ability to say, to know what is going to give you that extra touch, that thing that is going to prove your signature in your work, that thing that is going to make your work outstanding and different from what every other person is doing. You understand me? So this is just it. Now we can just put this material behind and use hot glue to finish it up, or we can just bend it and then use the machine to sew it. But I always work with my free hand when it comes to this aspect. I like to connect it by myself using my needle and thread. At times while I'm sewing, I try to sew part of the bow to attach it to this, and it so that I'll be sure that it is firm. Is that okay? Okay, so right now it is ready. Both the bow and the cap itself is ready. All I need to do is for me to just attach it to the turban. And I always, you can't carry this thing now and just place it at the center, you get me? So it has to be a little bit to the corner, that is, we call it eye corner. So I do hope you enjoyed today's tutorials, and if you are yet to subscribe to this channel, please do subscribe. It's just a way of telling YouTube that you love what I am doing. So please subscribe to the channel, give it a thumbs up if you love the video, and I will see you in my next tutorials. Again, I give room for, if you have something you think you want to know and you've not seen the video, you can send me the picture and I'll work on it and then make the video so that you can get access to it. So you can use my WhatsApp number, really. All right, thank you so much. Do have a nice day. Bye.